learning every day how wonderful this journey is of ascension. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Celeste, also known as Joanna. I'll only be known as Joanna until all of the paperwork and the monies that are returned back to me from all of my ancestors that have earned it so well. I've turned off the chat line today because the last couple of chats that I'd let on, it was kind of sporadic, and there was still some of the same old boring hate comments. So it just keeps me more in the channeled energy if I don't have to worry about all the hate comments that are flying at me. So everybody, ground your feet and allow yourself to be aligned with the divine holy creator and all of those celestials that are assisting us. And open up the pillar of light. Today we are going to talk about navigation systems and what those systems are within the Divine Soul's Blueprint, how important the Divine Soul's Blueprint is, the electromagnetic fields and all that we are that helps us guide us, and feeling out our energy, feeling out the beautiful frequencies that are all around us at all times, especially nature, right? And us understanding in who we are as divine beings within the electromagnetic field that we are. And our navigation systems that are within our bodies that help tell us how our bodies are doing health-wise, what we need. I've had many opportunities that I've been with Gaia, and my fields have told me and shown me that as I'm stepping upon certain places, whoever I'm with, Gaia gives me channeled download messages as to what that person needs as they're walking about Gaia. So Gaia is that messenger that receives messages in and out and says, this is the people, these are the bodies I have walking on my planet. What do I need to give my people, if you will, to help my people heal? So that's the benefit of Gaia's consciousness and being a Gaia speaker and allowing your systems of light to be a part of her systems of light. How we're all kind of in this symbiosis of energy and the omnipresence that's always with us, moving back and forth to assist us. The omnipresence are the substrates. The omnipresence is everything, source, creator, God. Everything is the movement of energy and the enhancement of intelligence, and the intelligent life that we have awakening to, because that's what Ascension is all about, right? The light that helps us awaken us to the intelligence that we've always been misguided and kind of stuck within low vibrational patterns of beliefs through church and state. Some of the systems that have remained through church and state, right? And then again, it's all depending on those of planet Earth, how they choose to move about in their belief systems. So the longer that you choose to believe in the lower box store beliefs that keep you hidden, that keep you giving your power away, and keep you hiding behind masks of others' illusions and what others want of you, will just delay your path of sovereignty, delay your path of self-agency. You know, who are you? And, you know, how beautifully magnetic can you get your field is infinite. You can have your field that's infinitely magnetic to light and positivity and, you know, universal beings, and then you can have a field that's dark and only magnetizes demons. And so it is, again, it's all without your intention, because your heart space, if your heart space is not open, if your heart space is only projecting negativity, right, then that's the only energies that you're going to get. Oh, and then there are some energies, you know, that Source puts in front of you, like myself, where we are aspects of the positive and negative, and we are harmonized positive and negative. So there are a lot of those beings that come to us and through us to play with us, if you will. And so those have been lots of fun. It's been such a great timeline. And yes, I'm being facetious. I still haven't made peace with the, I have not made peace with what has happened in the 50 years that I've been here. Church and state, I'm looking for the shadow government that has been the shadow government, that has been all of the ones that have been attacking me and continually sending their minions of darkness after me to destroy and sabotage my life in any ways that can be, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, sexually, sending anybody and their dog out to me to pretend that they're kind of a friend to me, and then their whole intention was to continue the dark systems, continue the old ways of church and state. And that was the intentions right from day one, was to keep having me play in these degrading little minion Illuminati groups, so that they can maintain power over others and control over others and maintain their systems. And so if all the 3D people on Earth think that your systems are so great, then how come the world is in the state that it is? How come all the systems on the planet are in the state that it is, and it's so imbalanced and it's unhealthy, and the children that are celestial don't want to be born here, and the women are never to be seen? So if your systems are so great, they're only great for you as a misogynist that gets what you want and how you want it and what way you want it. And your ego is so profound that you can't even come forward with one truth to a divine feminine and tell her that you've been stealing her money for her since the day she was born. And as long as she gets handled and as long as she gets attacked, then your life is okay. You can have as many lovers as you want, men and women and dogs and animals, and have your little rituals to make you feel powerful. And it's false power, and I've told you and I've shown you 800 million ways. I've shown you in every way, everything that you do is a false belief. It's a false notion that you've been misguided and told wrong things. But you think it's fun, and you think it's, I don't know what your thoughts are. Seriously. When I see and when I'm told some of these things that people do in their cults, and they have orgies, and they play with their life force like it's some sort of a, your dicks are wands and your vaginas are these sacred pools where you play with your sexual life force, and everybody's got diseases, and I don't understand that. And so that's fine. So you can have that if that's your choice. But you can't go out into public and pretend that you're righteous and pretend that you know all when you don't. You can't go into public and say that you're not wearing masks, and you are. You can't go into public and say that you're righteous and say that you have the higher and the greater good for the people, and you don't. You can't go into public and stand on a podium and say that you have all the right answers, and you don't. You can't go into the public and stand on a podium and say that you have the greater goodwill while you're in and absolutely running trafficking rings and shipping. You can't do that. You're going to have higher order come down and say, you're not going to do what you're going to do. You're not doing this. You're not going to continue running trafficking rings with children losing their lives every day. You're not going to hide behind masks to think that you're building an upright business when it's only a mask for an affiliate of other businesses. And when you say you care for somebody, in any personal situation that has happened to me, I was placed in the very center of corrupt people, because these corrupt people had to be broken up from within the core of their cell. It was a cell. It was, when we talk about pods, and these pods, these cults and covens, doesn't matter what the pod is. It can be an Illuminati, it can be a warlock, it can be a Mason. It doesn't matter what the pods are called or defined. It could be Catholic Church. I was placed in the center of a very corrupt, dark pod. And it was the shadow government. It was the systematic elite. It was the systematic abusers, that they were running the programs and agendas. They knew the pattern of humanity. They wanted to control humanity's movement inside and out of where humanity spent their energy, where humanity spent their life force, because it's easier to control. That's how they survive, is off the life force, because they're not going within and they're not doing it on their own. They're not living or learning by any of the systems that is Source Creator. You don't need anything outside of you. You are the divine source creator. Their only spark within is all you need. You don't need to take anything from anyone, ever. You never did, you never will. God would never place intelligent life on a planet and say, you're going to have to rape and steal from people to survive here. That would never be a thing. That would never be godly. Does that sound like a thing that God would do? God is an intelligent design. God designs everything within every dimension of intelligence. It's very simple. It's very intelligent. Wherever God places you, all you need is you. It doesn't matter what planet you go to. It doesn't matter what body you are in. Wherever God puts you on, whatever planet that you choose as a co-creative, God and you are deciding, what is my blueprint and what planet am I going to go on? Wherever you are, on whatever planet, whatever body, wherever that is, wherever you are, all you need is you and God. That's it. That is God's design all the way up to the 13th dimension. That is it. That is truth. These are truths. All you need is the DNA within you. Doesn't matter what dimension. Doesn't matter what planet. Doesn't matter what body you come in. All you need is you and God, and God to force, source divine. That's it. And yet people have come up with these infinite number of belief systems of box store beliefs, and these infinite number of things that you can go into the stores and practice these goals. It's great. It gives you a lot of diversity. It gives you a lot of things you can go into. Until it gets to the point where you're in a red flag situation and you're all against the wall and you're all behind the 8 ball, And then you all are trying to attack the only person that's bringing you truth for you to get through the gates to an eternal life. Or your species is not going to make it to another timeline. They just won't. This is the final 3D timeline. We've said these things a billion times over. And then so all of you get up in the front of the public and you pretend that you're righteous and you pretend that you're authentic and genuine when none of you are actually speaking truth. None of you are. I'm the only person on the planet, the only one. I am the only person on the planet, a light worker. I'm the only person designed and dropped from the heavens, placed in the middle of the darkest people, while all of these dark people trying to figure out how they're still going to keep their corrupt hands on me and who's going to get me and what they're going to get of me. And all they're trying to figure out is how they're going to keep siphoning and harvesting and trying to get me and trying to fool me and trying to trick me. I mean, it's just a sick game. It's the Hunger Games. I've said this 100 times. It's exactly what it is. They want to play with my energy. They want to play with me. They want to test me. They want to experiment on me. But nobody has come forward in all of the times that I've actually talked to these people in person. I've talked to some of these people. I've talked to some of these shadow government people. And they know the only way that they will be redeemed in their soul's contract, in their souls, so their soul can move into the 5th dimension. And their souls can come back in another lineage, in another body. The only way is for them to come forward and bring truth and return my money that is of my ancestors. And my ancestors are going to get it no matter what way you want to give it to me or not. My ancestors will start pulling out rip by rip by rip. My ancestors will pull every rug from every one of your houses. My ancestors will make sure your toilets won't work. My ancestors will make sure any of your programs or agendas are blocked. My ancestors don't care. They're at the I don't care stage right now. They don't. There's no way somebody like me, that is a multiverse being, should be sleeping on the side of the road because of idiot choices, utter idiot choices. And these people run the collective. These people have had opportunities to have higher wisdoms, just as they did in the 1950s for Eisenhower, to have higher vibrational beings, higher celestial beings, to come and build bridges, to make higher systems for the people. Because these are people leaders. They've taken oaths, and their oaths on planet Earth are planet earthly oaths. The highest oath that you can take that you will be supported by and you will always be protected is the oath with God. What's your oath with God? Even the papals and even the churches, even the archdiocese, you've all say that you've taken oaths with God. Have you? How much did the Catholic Church pay out for indiscretions of molestation and other indiscretions? How much did the Catholic Church pay out in the last 5 years? It's the numbers in the billions, and that's your oath with God. You're wounded. I can go, it doesn't matter what issue we're talking about on planet Earth, it's called wounding, and you're not healing the right way because you're not being taught the right things. That's God. The proper way is through Source Creator, God, who you are as light. But you want to keep learning about God in boxes and churches and your little Bibles and giving your little Bible verses all over the place. Your Bible verses aren't going to get you through Ascension because you're still behaving in the same wounded way. You're still behaving as if man, and I'm talking the male species are all that is, and the male species has the intelligence to run the planet in any way that they want, and they haven't, and they won't. Have they? Look where it is. We're still looking at 98% of the world's leaderships and the world's systems are led, bred, and created by divine masculines that are in wounding. And zero understanding of higher intelligence on LGBTQ1+, and how their bodies are designed, and the translateral information and energies that are going back and forth in their bodies, and a whole collective is being not heard, they're not being understood. The higher intelligence for this community is not being understood, and they're being left out with no voice, and put under stress, and put under, mental and emotional challenges because they're not being understood. And that goes equally to every person that is labeled and that is defined and boxed as autism. They're just a different set of species. There's just a different set of organized celestial that can understand information at a very high capacity. So we're all different species. We all have different ways of calling in information, organizing information, how we receive information, how we feel information, how we read information, and how we process information, how we think about information and organize information, how we express information. How we heal as a species, number one, is through expression. And if we're not allowed to express, that information is just going to get stuck, and it's going to get broken, and it's going to get heated into the system, into the organs, and it's going to start to get sick. It's not going to have free flow. Your body's not going to be lit up. It's not going to have free flow. It's going to be sick. It's not going to be lit up. It's not going to be equal to all your systems, to all your chakra points. So we come forward and we teach the light intelligent systems every day. My channel is still shut down. The people of the planet that have been suppressing me across all countries in the world, they've all gotten together in their male groups. It's all males. They're all male people in these groups. And they all have their secret little meanings, and they all talk about how are they going to keep suppression on the ones that actually know what's going on so that they don't look stupid. That's their highest concern. They don't look stupid, so that they don't have to be accountable for the wounds and the damages that they've done, and for the monies that they've been moving back and forth in their own little businesses, in their own little playgrounds, so that nobody else gets fed and nobody else gets served. And this is how it's been. And the ones at the very top in these situations have hired the cults and the covens and little minions to do their little dirty work, so that they keep people enslaved, they keep people dark and numb and dumb, and they don't have anybody that challenges them because they're not willing to look at who they are in their energies. It will always be this way, people. It doesn't matter. You're only going to be in a red state zone for so long. The light will keep bathing, and you're going to be pressed, and you're going to be forced to look at your wounding. And that wounding will face you. You will face every deed you've done. You will face every child you've touched. You will face every lie you've ever told. You will face every raping you've done of every woman. You're going to have to face your deeds. They don't go anywhere. They're on your soul, and they will sit on your soul until you redeem it. You can't go through those 5D gates until you have cleared your field, until you have faced your deeds. You have to yield 51% of your karma. You have to show God that you have cleared 51% of your divine feminine masculine energies and your situations, that you've taken yourself into lower vibrational experience. You've given your power away. You've given your energy away. You've given your body away. You've gone into selfishness and greed and envy and competition and power over others and all of these dark things. Those are dark behaviors. Because there's no such thing as competition, right? Because the very first thing we said, if God places you on a planet, in your body, in your way, doesn't matter where God places you, doesn't matter how God places you, all you need is God's spark within. That's all you need. But because of your systems, because of your dark beliefs, because divine masculines are running the whole show, everybody else suffers. And Ascension has been going on since 1987. That there has been enlightenment, self-actualization, intentions from the Divine Father, from the galaxy to move humanity into higher evolution. And here we are. And again, none of this stuff is being taught across the globe. I was the one that was brought in to go to the darkest places because there was no other light worker that had the intelligence and that had the backing, that had the experiences I did. And look what happened to me. These are true stories. These are absolutely 100% true stories. The evidence is there to prove all of it. I don't have any bank accounts. I have nothing because they've taken it. They thought that they knew better. The Illuminati. I have not been told my true father. I was designed as an ultra-human. So they take the initiative to take and design these ultra-humans to be a part of the God seed, the sacred Christ seed. Nobody has the clustering that I do. Nobody has the coding that I do. There will never be another human. There will never be an ultra-human. There will never be another being on this planet that will ever walk the way I walk. Never. There will never be another like me. Ever. There's nobody made like me. And so too is all of you. But my gifts and skills, over 1,000 long, were meant to come here at this special time so that I could be in front of the people, teaching, healing, and helping the people and lifting them up at this very pivotal time of the galaxy turnover. I've been squashed, I've been suppressed, I've been raped, I've been molested. I've been trafficked, I've been bid, I've been bet, I've been sold. There's been over 3,500 rituals done on my life since the day I was born. There's been over 65 sacrifices on my life, and God just keeps renewing me, and God just keeps breathing life back into me. And I'm going to keep getting up. It doesn't matter how many times you throw your black-ass people at me. It doesn't matter how many spells, doesn't matter how many warlocks, doesn't matter how many billionaires or bajillionaires that you bring, and you say you're going to make a friend of me, you're going to pretend to be my friend for a few minutes, and then as you get used to me, and as you get me, a little bit soft, and as you get me, playing all nice, then you're going to, take my business, take my proprietorship, and think that, again, like I said yesterday, you think you're going to walk around and you think you're going to talk about the things that I talk about. You're not, because you're still low vibrational 3D. You haven't activated your DNA. You're still sitting in your low vibrational beliefs. You're still sleeping with everybody and their cat and dog and husband. You don't have the intelligence because you're living low vibrational lives. You can't wear that mask. You can't say you're enlightened and yet you're living a low vibrational life where you hide and you sneak and you live in masks. It's, again, what we said, your actions are giving you off your vibration. You're not righteous. You're a liar. So face it. I'm your karma. I'm the mirror. Face it. You're lying. You're going out to the public and you think that you're evolved and you think that you're righteous, but you've actually raped somebody of their rights to be here. You've raped them of their ancestral money. You've raped them of everything. And that person faced you years ago. And that person said to you electronically, you know something about what's happened to me. You know something and you have information. You know something about the shadow government. And if you can bring me 5 minutes of peace so that I can get my proper birth records, so that me as a celestial can know who I am and I can stay peaceful on this planet and I can still offer who I am, because at this point, not anybody on this planet has given a fuck about me. And yet I'm giving everything to everybody else in the whole Truman Show and everybody's made billions off me. You put together your little computer systems, you put together your secret little robotics and all these things that you have all learned off of me. You've benefited off of me. You go sleep around with whoever you want. You don't give a crap about whoever. You don't give a crap about feeling or knowing or experiencing or being spiritual or being aligned or being godly, the relationship with God, the connection with God, the alignment with God, the alchemy with God, the capacity, the aptitude with God. I'm teaching you all of these things that nobody's going to bring you. Nobody could have brought you these things. And it's all free. I give it to you every day for free. I sleep in a parking lot. And I asked all of you, 300 plus people are involved, right up to the officials that wear badges and say they have oaths for the people. You don't have a fucking oath for me. You never did and you never will. You don't give a fuck. You care about the money you got in the back pocket. You care about the money that you built your systems, that you built your business, while me and my ancestors are sitting in a parking lot making sure that I don't die. And God brings me back to life about 5 or 6 times because of the black magic and the bullshit that you do on me, because you don't want me talking about what's really going on behind your doors. So again, sit in your Epstein earth. I don't understand why you keep fighting. You want to live Epstein lives, so go live Epstein lives. What are you fighting? You know what you're fighting? Because you don't want to admit you live Epstein lives. That's the problem. That's your problem, not mine. So you're punishing me because you want to live an Epstein life, but you just don't want to admit it. You want the world to see that you're not living an Epstein life. And I'm telling you, you're not going to go through any gates. You're going to be on Epstein life. You're going to be on Epstein world, and you're going to go into entropy because you want to live an Epstein life. And an Epstein life doesn't have any light in it. I keep telling you that. So what do you want me to do? You want me to come forward and give you lies? Oh, if you live an Epstein life and you keep living the way you're living, you're going to go through the gates and God's going to love you and God's going to bless you too. Is that what you want? So you want your cake and you want to eat it too. Well, haven't that been what you've been doing to Divine Feminine? You've been taking a Divine Feminine that is intelligent, that is wise. You'll never find another one like me on this planet. God will never drop a heavenly star on the planet for any of you ever again. Any Divine Masculine, God will never drop a heavenly star on your lap ever again. Because look what you've done to her. Look what you've done to her, Divine Masculines. Every Divine Masculine that has ever known me or come even near me, all of you have abused me. All of you. I've been dropped in front of the top earning masculines on the planet, and all of you have abused me. And you know who you are. God dropped me in front of you, right on your lap, and you've done nothing but abuse me, take me, and rape me, and use my energy, and take everything that I was worth, and you threw me away. And you think that you want to have another story that, oh, you're living an Epstein life, but you're going to get through to God and you're living a great life. You want to be told all these lies and you want to be lifted too. You had your cake, you ate it too, you raped it, you sucked the cherry off, you spit the pit out, and then you said, I'm going to still have a great life. You never came back and said sorry. You never came back and made it a thing, right? You never gave me a penny of your time or ounce of anything, but I gave you everything. I am the voice of God. And God is saying, I gave you everything. I dropped an angel. I dropped a star on your lap, and you did nothing but abuse. You all want to live Epstein lives because you get your jack off. You're living from your lower bodies. You're living from temptation. You just want to keep jacking off because you think that's the only high there is. That's not alignment, and there's no connection with God. You don't know God. You want to live in your rituals because it gets you high for a few minutes. And then what? You don't know God. You don't know your soul. You don't know your spirit. You don't know your guides. You don't have any future visions of the next 5 years of meeting your teams and having on and off world contact. You don't. how loving that is, and how your off-world beings in your species love you so much, they heal you every night. Do you want to know those relationships? Do you want to be one with them? Do you want to hang with them? Well, I'm one of them. I'm the closest celestial in a divine human body that you'll ever get. I was the one that was the bridge builder between me and the celestials. I am the closest vibration to the celestials. I'm the closest vibration to God. And you all treated me like crap. You all raped me. You all ruined me. You all defamed me. You all exploited me. You all sold me. You all bet me. You all bid me. You all put my name on pieces of papers and you traded me to the black web. You all told lies about me, 100% lies, my ex. Eric Raimundo Perez from Calgary. You told so many lies on me, you can't even keep count of the lies. And every little witch and warlock that you were betting with, you all told lies on me. Not one of the words coming out of your mouth was true. Not one of them, because I haven't talked to my ex, and we're estranged for 8 years. Doesn't talk to me, doesn't know me, doesn't come anywhere near me. I live in a totally different province. Can't even know where I live. I'm 2 provinces away. Don't talk to my family. Nobody talks to me. As soon as they found out I was homeless, there's no communication. They don't want to help unless they're gonna get a video chat to say, this is what I'm going to sign my life away to make sure you're going to get your money back. Meanwhile, I've helped you unconditionally. In any way that you've asked, I've helped you unconditionally. And if you were homeless and you showed up at my door, I said, how can I help you? There's a bed downstairs. I'll turn up the heat for you. So I'm going to make it very clear, because I'm going to be moved, and I'm going to move in a different timeline, a different dimension, hopefully maybe another planet. All of planet Earth and all of humanity, you guys can live your Epstein Earth. Live your Epstein Earth. Live your Epstein life. Trade your money back and forth with all the people around the world and all the leaders around the world. And your leaders around the world, you can trade money back to Dubai, and you can have all these fancy things in these big meetings, and you can wear your fancy jets and do whatever you fancy want. It is still Epstein Earth. You're still not connecting with God. You can make your arbitrary little laws about men allowing to beat the women. It doesn't matter what you think you're getting away with. It doesn't matter the disgustingness of how you think that you're going to talk yourself into being righteous. None of these things are righteous, and you all fucking know it. And you're only knowing it when you're facing somebody like me, when I'm standing in my truth, and I'm never going to say, you make a law that says it's okay to beat a woman and you think that's okay? You think you're ever going to come back in another body again? You think your children are going to be proud of you in another 20 years when they're telling their story to their children about what they saw their father do to their mother in the living room or in the kitchen because she didn't have dinner on the table fast enough? Thank you, Holy Spirit. And you're getting it, and you're getting all itchy in your seats because you know that everything that I've said, and how many women have you beat? There's somebody in the Middle East. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, the one that's itching in your seat. And you have such hatred towards me. Why? Because you're wounded. You're a wounded little man. How many women have you beat? There's a man in the Middle East, and he's itching in his seat, and he has such hate for me. How many women have you beat? I have a number. It's 7. You've beat 7 women. 7 women have brain damage because of what you've done to them. All because of your wounding. Your wounding. You don't have any light in you. There's no light in you. You don't know anything about your chakras. You don't know anything about God in your chakras. You don't know anything about your connection with God. You don't know anything. You're a wounded little man, and you go around beating on women because you think it feels powerful. Oh, I'm powerful. I'm a man. Okay, so then what? You're going to go, in your life transition, this is what's going to happen. I'm giving you the facts of what's happening. You have a soul and you have a spirit, and it is incorporated in your physical body. God gives you the physical body so you can play out being godly in your physical body. This is a truth. Doesn't matter if it's Muhammad, doesn't matter if it's Buddha, doesn't matter if it's Baha'i, doesn't matter your God you call it. It's still Source Creator. Source Creator, and everybody else is on the baseball team of Source Creator. We're all employees of Source. God gives you a body to move your light in your body to act and behave like a God. So you go from planet to planet, and you sit and you have a house, and you have this house, and all of a sudden you've got these woundings that you're not dealing with. You're not okay with who you are. You're not okay with what you exist within, and you're not okay with what's going on within you. You have these feelings, these thoughts, these emotions because you saw your father beat your mother or whatever mother you had, because sometimes you had 3 or 4 or 6 mothers. You all got harems. You think that's a way of life. Okay, so you're sharing your dick with 8 other people, and you're beating on 8 of them. So then what? That makes you a great man? So what are you doing for humanity? You're beating the women. You're beating the only one with intuitive knowledge. You're beating the only ones with the intuitive knowledge that are going to teach the children. They're not teaching the children. All they're being taught is that the women are victimized. The women are brutalized and the women are killed. And then what? So then you have a planet with just men and little boys. Then what? Epstein Earth. How long are you going to last? 5 years. So now you're itching in your seat. Now you feel so much hatred towards me. Why is that hatred towards me? I'm just telling you truth. I'm telling you this is how you behave. This is how you act. Your beliefs are getting you this way. Your beliefs are going to run you this way. And this is what you're going to do when you're facing God. And you go and you pass up and you're in front of your teams, you're in front of your guides, and you're with God and saying, did I live a good life here? Did I do my best? Did I actually want to know myself and heal myself so that I could walk around being very proud in the body that I am and proud in the family that I am? Am I teaching my kids a good life so that, when my kids come back and I go to my next life, that I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to be a different person. I want to run life. I want to be different today. I don't want to be here. I want to be here. I want to be in the highest light version so I can give back to the planet. All you care about is beating on people. And so that's what? Good for you? You think beating people up and killing people is honorable? I'm a multiverse being. I'll tell you right now. Men that think you're macho. There's nobody in this universe. There's nobody in the multiverse. There's nobody anywhere. There's nothing. There's no species. There's nothing in the multiverse. There is nothing in the multiverse. There's nothing in the multiverse that will ever say and give you a badge for killing people and say that's honorable. So whatever has been made up on earth about honor killings, it's ridiculous. They're arbitrary, tiny-ass little beliefs for people that are wounded to make them feel okay about their egregious acts of killing. They're criminal acts. It's premeditated murder. It's murder. A 5D Earth would never behave this way. Ever. This is the lowest of the lowest experience ever. It's like two-dimensional. It's just like one hair beyond barbarianism, living in caves. You throw children on the street and you have them look after themselves. You sex with children, you trade them and sell them. You have leaders of the countries that do satanic rituals and kill little children and sleep with little children. And you walk around and you put the microphone up to your thing and you say you're evolved. Really? So what does evolved look like? Making up laws that say it's okay for men to beat on women. Because what? She wasn't okay with you beating on her yesterday, so she said something. So she wasn't okay with you taking her inheritance and making it your billion-dollar business while she sleeps on the street, and she says something, and you send covert attackers at her. And God says, you're not going to kill this one. This was a star dropped in all of your plates so that each and every one of you could have your final chance. There's no more chances, people. There's no more chances. This is your final chance for you to wake up. You will never evolve, and you are giving your species the red ticket, or the yellow card as it's called in soccer, football. You're giving your species the yellow card. If you do not wake up and redeem your soul's acts, and if you do not become peaceful, if you do not respect divine feminine or the children or all life around you, and if you do not heal, if you choose not to heal, you will never take another body. You won't be back. And it doesn't matter what your box store belief says, because you're not going to go into your box store belief and think you're righteous after you've just beat on your wife or your partner or your lover, or just because she looked at you strange. You're going and beating her up, or you're paying underground spiritual killers in the black web, and you're paying people millions and millions of dollars to take out one divine feminine that's only bringing you the truth to say, hey, you got one last chance before you walk through that door. I was a star brought to all of you, a star, a shining being from the heavens brought to all of you to say, are you sure this is what you want? You want to live Epstein Earth? Okay. That's where all of you are at. That's where all of you are at. I'm not there. You are. The 300 that beat the crap out of me vibrationally, that beat the crap out of me mentally, that beat the crap out of me vibrationally, financially, psychologically, that's where all of you are. All of your names are known right up to the heavens, and everyone around the earth that thinks that you're running things, that you're a high vibrational being and you're beating on women, and you think anywhere in the multiverse will say, good on you. Let's give you a badge for beating the crap out of a woman and for touching on children. You think that's your compass. I put it on the table to you every day. You have to wake up. All of you have to wake up. You cannot walk into your church and say you are righteous and look at 300 people in your church and in your papal and look at these 300 sets of eyes and say, from the source of God creator, I speak that which thine is truth and only thine truth. And yet, when you walk out of that church and go into your office, you're paying 3 separate people in 3 separate groups to make sure that I stay silenced and I never come before you because you would feel challenged. Well, you could just expand your knowledge and just get healed a little and maybe expand what you think is wisdom. Because I don't compete. I never do. I never will. So if I'm not competing, what game are you in? We're all on the same team, right? We're all the same employees of God's team. One day you're the catcher, one day I'm the pitcher. We're all on the same team. Next, you're going to be the pitcher and I'm going to be the catcher. And I'm going to say, way to go. Good on you. Why? Because while you were all out having sex with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, while you were all out having sex and making your money that were other people's money, it wasn't actually your money. Everything you've made is off the backs of other people because it wasn't your money. It was my money. It was my money that I was due to go back to the people, but you chose to make your business out of it instead of it going to me and my Father's business. Because Father has a plan for this planet. Father has a plan of the divine heavens. Father has a plan for the heavenly gardens. Father has a plan. Father is the Father that's designed each and one of your DNAs. Father knows exactly what's in your DNA. Father knows exactly when you're going to have a DNA activation. Father dropped me in front of all of you because somehow all of you needed to say the very blatant truth that everything that what's been living, everything that has been going on planet Earth is an Epstein Earth. That's what's been going on. Nothing but fraud, nothing but corruption, nothing but corrupt leaders, nothing but corrupt judicial systems. It's been corrupt. There's no way an innocent person like me is going to go through the court system and have my stuff absolutely flipped over because a judge is getting paid in the back pocket because the judge is inside a sex cult that's doing orgies off my energy and harvesting off it. And dare let that judge know, let not their deeds be known to the public, because holy cow, that might just challenge that official judge's chair. That judge doesn't want to take away the 2 houses that judge has earned off my money. And the little money's being handed under the table to make sure that my fees and my things that are wanting to be heard are never getting heard. So the corrupt pedophiles are walking around in the street, still pedophiling little children, still touching on little children, and you all run a corrupt planet. Okay, so then what? We're going to keep going around and around and around till you answer your own questions. And then what? You're living on Epstein Earth. That's what you chose. You chose to abuse women and not give them an ounce of your time or energy, besides where you want to put your dick. All the men on this planet need to be healed. And the divine feminine, you need to stand up. And how did you allow it? Because sometimes it's just too much for us to take. I mean, we're running a house, we're running 3 jobs. We have to work 10 times harder than any man in any business for us to be heard. And even then, we're still, sexual harassment all over the place. There's innuendos, there's slide comments, there's under the radar comments that just go under the radar because they know just how to put those little thoughts through and those little energies through. It's been like this for years and years and years and years and years. And women are just exhausted. They're exhausted to carry the man's role and the divine feminine's role. And so then their gender gets challenged. Well, why? Because I'm just exhausted. Men treat us like crap. Men are not looking into who they are. Men are not wanting to know who they are. They're emotionally and vibrationally shut off. They're wearing masks. They have this big wave of the Muslim belief systems. Everybody buy into that. That's been the big wave over the last 5 years. So divine masculines are really into that. They're even hiding some of these Muslim people are married. They've got lots of marriages. Lots of marriages, false marriages. My ex, how many times was my ex married? Go look into how many times my ex got married and how many people he was with. He's been to this whole Muslim belief. But hid it from everybody. He wouldn't talk about it, wouldn't admit it to anybody unless he was in a secret cult. Wouldn't talk about it to his Catholic families. Still pretend to be Catholic, wear that mask there, then wear another mask somewhere else, and then when he's out in his secret little meetings, wear a secret little meetings masks, and all of you are walking around hiding in the dark. Your body will not look like this. All you do is lie. Masks, masks, masks. Dark, 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 dark. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. So you have money, but you're running a corrupt body in a corrupt household with corrupt rules, with corrupt laws. You're all lying to each other. Nobody has any truth. Nobody trusts anybody. The children don't feel safe. Children aren't going to believe you as they look in your eye because you're all lies. And then, so you have a badge for that. Okay, I lie and I get away with it. So that's your badge. You took that oath in your secret little society. You're running around little secret society. You're all paying people. Okay, then what? And that makes you cool. Does that make you cool? Well, how do you feel with that? I want these people to ask themselves, you're running in Epstein Earth, now what? How are you going to fix it? How are you going to heal it? Do you want to? You're going to be shifted off. You're going to go keep playing in Epstein Earth. You're going to keep lying to each other and keep taking each other out because sooner or later, you're going to be the one sacrificed. Okay, then what? These are truths. Then what? Go find another woman to beat on. Okay. No intelligence whatsoever. Somebody just said, we want you to be our leader, Joanna. To the sweet soul that said that, I have these talks with God every day. This is a conversation just with me and Celeste. You're having a conversation with Celeste right now, the one that's not the teacher, the one that's not the guide. I'm nobody's lover. I'm nobody's anything. I've chosen to be just owned and loved by me because that's what it takes to survive this place. I don't get this place. I don't understand why somebody like me and my gifts and skills was brought to a place like this so that I can be placed in the darkest groups and the darkest rings. And I'm just used as a catalyst for everybody to wake up. And by the time I look at it, I'm 54 and my life is gone. And I still hear the children screaming because they're getting raped. And I still have all of these things that are still in my energy field because not one of you have decided to come forward and have 1 ounce of fucking truth. And it's not going to change your soul. Your soul is still going to be your soul until that truth is done being alchemized. And I keep telling you, and I keep giving you all these warnings, and I keep giving you all these warnings. And every day you get up is a new day and a new warning. When are you going to bring truth? Because your soul wants to be alchemized. You only got so much time left. I mean, we're getting down then. It doesn't matter to me. I'm already ascended. There's lots of versions of me already ascended. I made a promise that I would go with the highest level of collective to be ascended. Because the collective needs somebody that has as much experience as I do. In the 50 years that I've been here, in anybody that I was placed around, they were all lies, and that was intentional. God placed me with the people God placed me with so that I could break the lineage and the curses from my lineages and the Illuminati families that all they do is tell lies, and they live in lies. And they feel good about themselves because they belong to a church, and they talk about church, and they talk about God from a Bible. They don't know God in any other way. And when somebody talks about God in another way, they then start attacking them and they start using black magic on them. And then they start, for some reason, somehow, that black magic got introduced as a part of a righteous thing. Never has been, never will be. Again, there's nobody in the multiverse with higher intelligence wisdoms that will say to you that you're doing black magic on somebody and then you turn around and say you're righteous and you say that you have the rights to. You don't, you never did, you never will. Because, as I said in the very first sentence of this podcast today, If God drops you on a planet, doesn't matter what planet, doesn't matter what dimension, doesn't matter what threaded dimension, doesn't matter what body you're dropped in, you will always be given exactly everything you need within you to survive and have a very righteous, successful life, only with you and only with you within, because God gives you everything that you need within you. That's all you need is everything within you. You don't need to do black magic. So all these people that think they're walking around, talking around everything that they are and everything they know as the highest wisdom people, they're not. They don't know anything. They're just a lot of wounded people that refuse to go within and heal, because they refuse to come out of their box store beliefs, and they absolutely refuse. And they will rather take somebody like me out and have whatever debts are incurred in doing so of such actions. You will never, ever have another body again, and you will never come out of hell. You will never go to heaven. It doesn't matter. You think you know the Bible inside and out. It doesn't matter. You have harmed God's sacred life. When you harm sacred life, when you harm sacred life, you are doing equal detriment to your soul, and you cannot come out until you make redemption on that sacred life you have harmed. It doesn't matter how many Bible verses you know. You've done black magic to affect somebody's life. You've crossed the number one universal law, and every day you do so, you're crossing universal laws. Right use of free will and non-interference. You've already hindered the law number 2, law of balance. Law of balance is now skewed. The law of balance has been out of balance since 1987. Before that, and way before the Eisenhower, that's when it started. The real corruption started in Eisenhower, because they refused to be divine masculine, looking at their wounds and healing their wounding. And it's gotten worse, perpetually worse. Because divine masculines are very slow to awaken. They're slow to release and surrender their monkey mind. And they're slow to call up their intuitive sensing, to call up their divine feminine energies and heal. Because they have beliefs, then they've been told that they must beat women and rape women and have sex with lots of people and make sure they're dominating and have power over all people and be primordial for them to be powerful men and for them to be good men. That's their belief system. And these are very low vibrational 2D beliefs. They're very two-dimensional. So if you're not a good hurly-burly man beating the crap out of people and having sex with a lot of people, you're not a good man. That's not what a man is. And how intelligent is that? That's not a fifth dimensional intelligence. I'm bringing it down to the very basics because it has to be. It has to be said that way. Not all men are like this, of course. However, the planet is being run the way it's being run. All of the world leaders are divine masculines, with the exception of maybe a couple. World systems are the way they are. I was an example placed in all of you, before all of you, for all of you, and there was judgments made because of how I look. There was judgments made because of how I spoke. There was judgments made because of everything. Everybody made judgments about me. All of you did, and all of you know you did. You didn't bring them to me when I spoke to you on electronics, when you had an opportunity to say, boy, I misjudged you. Sorry. When I spoke to you on electronics and I said, this is what I need. This is what I need for my life to feel and for me to have peace. This is what I need. And you said through electronics that you cared about me. My ex even told other family members, tried to make other family members believe that I was the one that was going crazy and I was the one that was not understanding life and not understanding things. While you were going around being the most righteous person, caring about everybody as you're doing black magic and sacrificing and death spells on me. And you're doing cock-blocking spells on me. So really, Mr. Perez, really? You show you care about me by doing sex magic on me all day long because you want me to come crawling back to you? And that's caring for me and having me sleep in parking lots and having me sleep out in the street while you're laughing your ass off and living off my money and you're not wanting anybody to know about all the money you lived off me? That as long as everybody knows you're wearing the mask, and the mask is going to show that for the time being, your lies are getting along, and every lie that you're telling, and now everybody's seen the mask that you're wearing, because everything you've said about me is an absolute lie. And how many people did you fool? How many people did you fool? How many people on the planet Earth have believed the lies that my ex told and everybody that he was involved with, that were absolutely paid by the shadow government? The shadow government was paying these people. So you can blame Calgary Cult all you want. They were the ones that were doing all the hits, and they were the ones doing all the black magic, and they were the ones doing all the lies and the scams and getting out of their criminal acts. There was a lot of people behind me that died. I was supposed to be number 9. And then there was more people after me because I didn't die. So they were still practicing on other people to make sure that it would work. So there was more people after me that died. So these cults and covens are actually serial killers. They're spiritual killers. They're spiritual, whatever you want to call them. These are truths. These are real things that happen. You say you do black magic, and you say that this, and you say that that, and you actually attach it to a religion. No, it's spiritual killing. So how is that righteous and how is that godly? I'm telling you, no, you're not godly. You're going to have your deeds. You're going to have your redemption. You're going to sit in your deeds. You're going to sit in your karma. I don't know what kind of God you guys think you believe in, that God's going to give you another body and God's going to bless you on another planet. God's going to bless you in other ways. You're not. You kill people. You kill people. The people that they've hired, I posted it yesterday, the people that have been hacking my system, they're from, some of them are from Nigeria. And I just have these people from Nigeria just pop up in my reality. They're also the ones that are paid, illegal aliens from Nigeria. This is some of the deals that are going back and forth in the shadow government, along from other places in the world. Nigeria was the one that God gave me. That was a download God gave me years ago. When I had certain people pop up in the store that I worked at, because they were the ones to sabotage, and they were the ones to come and stalk me, and they were the ones to kind of look at me to give me the little scare and give me this. And I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you because your soul and your body is going to be sitting right where you're sitting, Epstein Earth. I'm heavenly. Doesn't matter how many voodoos, doesn't matter how many times you walk through my store and you're trying to scare me, I don't know what you're trying to do. I mean, you think that your bullying tactics are going to be greater than God. Greater than God, people. You think your bullying tactics, you think your Black Forest magic, you think is that going to be greater than God when God just like that, a breath and you're gone. Your agendas are closed. Your abundance is closed. Your bodies are going downwards. Your health is going downwards. It doesn't matter where you think you're going to go. You're going to go block, 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 block. God knows where you're going to be. Here, 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 and here. You think you're more powerful than God. So you want to prove it and you want to be powerful. You want to go and bully people and you want to get paid to do the hacking. I showed it on YouTube. So Interpol, CIA, FBI. When are all of these evidences that I'm absolutely pasting? I'm pasting evidence. I'm pasting evidence on YouTube that shows every time I get pilfering, every time the views are different, every time the upload dates are fooled with. Like I show you the hacking of my phone. I show you the hacking of my accounts. I give you evidence. I give you evidence and I'm sleeping in the street. And so I asked God, why am I here? Why do you want me here? I come forward every day. I give you evidence of the corruption. I'm the only light worker going into the trafficking rings, and I'm going the only one around the most corrupt people on the planet. And these are corrupt elite. And these are corrupt elite with our little armies of their own to make sure that they stay corrupt and elite. Okay, so I've done my job. Can I go now? Can I go now? I've been here 50 years. Everyone that's been so-called family or friends have been setups in the Truman Show, and everybody made their millions off me. Can I go now? I mean, the churches are corrupt. The hospitals are corrupt. You've got rings on everything. Everything is just corrupt. Everybody's making money off selling humans. Everybody's making money off making a joke of God. Okay, so you're going to stay in the mud. You will not have another body in another realm. That's the truth. I've told you the truth 800 million times. I don't know what you want from me. Somebody just said they want me to stay. Why do you want me to stay? I've been here 54 years. I've received donations only from 2 people. So if you want me to stay, where have you shown and what have you proven? Again, words are nothing. Your actions will show your vibration. I've had no action from anybody that says my value here has been done. There's no being in this multiverse that would stay. There's nobody that would stay. There's nobody that would stay. And there's nobody behind me. There ain't nobody behind me like me. There ain't. So good luck with the intelligence you have in your collective to solve the problems that need to be solved, because the children aren't going to be activated. You haven't even inspired the children enough to be activated. You haven't inspired them enough with any light to be activated. The shadow government I'm most disappointed with, because the shadow government had the most intelligence, they had the most will, they had the most resources, they had the most people. They had access to all of the systems, and they're paying people that are dark, cult, criminals, mafias, criminal ringleaders, and they're paying them to abusive information, abusive technology, abusive power, abusive medical information, abusive financial information. Everything has been fabricated on me. Everything has been lied. Everything has been absolutely 100% messed up when it comes to my life. Because these people that are in government position didn't know what to do with somebody like me. If you think that, I'll ask you something, all of the leaders around the countries and around the world, the ones that you're going to be bringing down your nuclear weapons programs, because if you think a nuclear weapon program is going to be more advantageous than somebody like me, because the federations won't let you detonate anything nuclear, because it affects the bajillions in the galaxy, and they're not going to allow that. And they pull rank on you. So you've wasted billions of dollars on your stupid little nuclear weapons, because you think you want to maintain in the race of the nuclear weapons war. And that makes you what? Wasting your country's money. Because the galaxy and the federations won't let you detonate them. So you've wasted money putting them together. So why not be a leader and say, I'm not putting nothing towards nuclear weapons? Are you kidding me? No, I've got the heavens behind me. I'm going to put that money towards healing the people and see what happens. You're going to have a country with the greatest light. Your people are going to be healthier and happier. Your people are going to be inventing things out of crazy. Your people are going to be the most innovative. Your people are going to be the most loving. You're going to start having great flowers and great herbs and great medicines and your country's going to start flourishing. Isn't that what you want? You're going to have the most intelligent because you're going to be aligned with Source. You're going to be the most smarts because you're aligned with Source. You're going to have the best books coming out of your country because you're aligned with Source. You're going to have the greatest people that are happy in their marriages because you're aligned with Source. You're not going to have money going to Medicare and diseases because they're all aligned with Source. Isn't that what you want? Or do you want them being sick and lowly and in poverty and on the streets? You do, because they are, and we are. So I come forward, and these are the truths. From the beginning, everybody has known from my family, the Illuminati, and my father, whoever that is. I still have no truth or bearing on any of my birth records. I don't have truth about anything because nobody's had balls enough or courage enough to bring it to me. The people that I have been in contact online that have been involved in the 300, because everybody before me has been set up. It's been a big fucking game to everybody. And everybody's laughing behind the scenes, and they're all making money, and they're all taking money. They don't give a fuck about their body. They don't give a fuck about their soul. They don't give a fuck about their family or their lineage. They don't care. They're Epstein energies. They're Epstein vampires. They're Epstein clones. They're Epstein drones. They're Epstein, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what you want to call. I don't care. I don't understand people that don't care about anything. I don't get it. But so you are. You're a child of God. I accept you in everything. What I don't get is I'm coming here being whatever I need to be for humanity, for the children, for everybody involved. If you continue going in this way, this is how it's going to go. If you go in this way, this is what could happen. I've always brought that. That's what we say. That's in all of the other channelers are corroborating exactly what I say. They don't go into teaching you what I teach because that's my destiny. That's my job. That's what I get most happy with, because the indicators, the navigation system in me says that my encoding, my navigation system says, this is what I'm encoded to. It's my navigation system, my I am presence. My I am presence is my navigation system. My throat chakra is my navigation system to express God's source creator. Everything is a navigation system. If you know your chakras, you know your navigation system. Why? Because it's aligned with who you are as Metatronic light, as your source creator, as God, as your higher self. It's all a navigation system of God. You've not been taught that. I'm teaching you it. I was told to teach you it, but then you shut me down. My systems are still all depressed. My thing is still shadow banned. I'm not being seen even by a tenth of the people that I could be seen by, that could be healed, that could be, getting themselves up and starting a new life today. I get donations by 2 people. How is that possible? When I'm seen by 10,000 people a week. How's that possible? And yet a guy that makes concrete on his channel, he gets donations every week. He makes concrete. I'm teaching people how to heal their bodies and how to come out of soul trauma. I only get donations by 2 people, and these 2 people have been following me since day one. And they know who I am. They're my disciples. They've seen my miracles. They've been involved in my miracles. So everybody from my so-called family that didn't want to have anything to do with assisting me through homelessness, they chose to sit where they sit, and they're all forgiven. Everybody's forgiven from my family. Everybody's forgiven. The so-called father, the Illuminati, you're all forgiven. How many times you want to sacrifice me, how many times you want to keep me dangling so you could put me on a piece of paper and move me from cult to cult and make sure that I was taken from family to harvested, and your family could practice doing spell work on me, and your family could practice doing spell work on me, and your family could practice doing spell work on me, and you could all beat the fuck out of me vibrationally. It's all really a great show. Does any of you have any idea how many 3,500 rituals that have been done on my sacred body? And my ex had an underground life, a secret life, sleeping with everybody and their dog, and he had the balls to lie and put those doctrines on me. Not as if those 3,500 rituals weren't bad enough. No, he had to go and defame me and tell people that I was a whore sleeping in the streets, and I had sexual diseases while I was being celibate for 15 years. Not that the 3,500 rituals were bad enough. Not that I was on the floor one day, and I stayed on the floor one day because the magic was so bad. The root work that they did and the demons they sent to me were so bad, and they were laughing about it in their little chat rooms. They laughed about my suffering. I did nothing to these people. I didn't even know who these people were. I sent them, I said, have a great day at work, and I would give them help at work, and I would send them messages to help them out. And I would, if they were drunk and having parties, I'd say, make sure you get home okay. What a naive person, what a naive, sweet soul I was. And when I got up to the really elite ones and I was able to talk with them online, and I said to them, the thing that I really need right now is I need my money back from what's meant to come to me. I'm meant to have that money. I was meant to have it at 20 so that I could start off on humanity's projects God wants me to start, because that's my responsibility. I take it seriously. I didn't have any money to go and help my kids, to be their light, to help them with all their magic that was impaled on them. I couldn't be that light for them, so I had to wear that. I had to wear the deaths of everybody that they were doing black magic off my energy. And all these sick, disgusting people harvesting my energy to do sick, disgusting things. And I have to live with that. I have to live with that in my field. I have to live with it in my field, and I transmuted it. I transmuted every one of your sick, disgusting acts that you did on my behalf of my energy, that you didn't have permissions to. None of you did. In all of your black market, black underground, disgusting acts, and the black web, and all that was done and all that was known by the shadow government. And all of you have taken oaths on behalf of the people, on behalf of so-called God. And this is where God said, that's enough. Not only did you take an oath to say that you're holding the highest and the best for your people, and yet this is what you do to my daughter. And they also went even a step further, and they did blasphemy rituals on Jesus, as if they didn't have enough hate. And these people are paid to do this. And then so you want your planet saved from Epstein direction. Your navigation system is your Epstein energies, your Epstein actions, your Epstein transactions, your Epstein transactions, your Epstein transactions. That's your navigation system. Your navigation system is warped because of your wounding. Your actions are dictating your vibration, and your vibration is dictating your actions. It doesn't matter what you say. My word is my word and as pure as truth. And my actions are my actions. I would rather sleep in a parking lot than lie to any of the collective that believes in my word to say, You will go to Epstein Earth if you do not change what you're doing, because you're already on your way. You're not going to be given an arbitrary body so that you can go and abuse it and abuse life one more time. That's not how it works. There is higher spiritual order. If you do not make right on your deeds and the things, horrible things you have done to innocent people because you refuse to look at yourself in the mirror and wear the mask that you're wearing, you don't fool anybody. And until you get raw and real with who you are, and you bring 100% truth to everything that you have done, you will be and always be on Epstein Earth. And everybody's a liar, and everybody's a cheat, and everybody lies to everybody, and everybody does magic on everybody, and everybody enslaves everybody, and everybody thinks everybody is great, and everybody plays power games on everybody, and everybody sees how much money they can get off everybody, and everybody lies to everybody's face, and everybody lives superficial fuck shit life. So be it. And then what? You don't know God. You didn't surrender to God. You've never taken a knee to God. You only call God when things are getting really tough and horrible. So God places an angel in front of you to say, this is how you can start redeeming your energies. This is how you can start healing your traumas. This is how you can start changing your 51% of your karma. She's showing you exactly how to do it day to day. And all she's asking for is a humble living. And none of you could even do that, except the 2 clients that donate. So the Nigerian people went in and they hacked my systems. They came and they made themselves present around my workplaces. They made themselves present while I was in the park. And they would make up false claims and they would phone in the police and they would say absolute false claims, and they think they're going to get somewhere. And they think that in their mind, they've been told and they've been taught this is the way to be, and their belief systems are they're getting paid. That's all they care about because there is no God. So all of you will be blocked and all of you will get karma and all you're going to Epstein. It's the same story. And then what? So you destroy somebody's life, and that makes you what? A dark person with no light in your body. You don't know God. Your chakras aren't working. Again, you're going to go to Epstein Earth. Same thing. Same story. It gets boring. Why am I here? You want to go to the churches and have the people tell the lies. So you've got it. You want the people in the front of your people. You want the people that are really rich and elite. You want the people that you see in magazines and the people that you see on TV wear a mask and tell you lies. So you got it. You got everything you wanted, people. You got everything you want. There's no truth in any of you. No truth in anything you got going on. You've manifested a world of lies and deceit and people that get off on each other and sell children. So you got what you wanted. You don't want to face any of the issues. You don't want to heal any of it. And the men are getting laws, and the men are creating laws to have it okay to beat their women and to kill them. Okay, so this is a planet going to hell, and what do you want me for? What do you want me for? I'm done. Legions are going to lift me. Legions are going to move me. I'll go to a planet that actually wants to ascend. I keep coming back saying the same thing. Go back to my videos. 300 videos, we're saying the same thing. I show you every day. Go back to the videos. Do the work. Are you doing the work? When you get off this channel, do you do the work? Do you heal? Do you connect with God? Do you want to build a relationship with God? Where's your relationship with you? Where's your relationship with your heart? Where's your relationship with your body? Where's your relationship with your home? Where's your relationship with your children? You're looking in the eye and you're saying, I'm going to show you the way. I'm going to be a great role model. I want to be a great role model to you. Do you? When you've just spread lies about their mother. And you wanted everybody to believe that you were the righteous one and you were the great one. Really? You've brought nothing but damage and pain and loss and suffering to me. And I sat on the street and I sat homeless for 6 years. I slept sleeping under a tree my very first night being homeless when my car was taken. I slept under a fucking tree with a garbage bag over me so that nobody would see me. I'm a pro at it now. So you think you're going to break me with your stupid ass little Nigerian voodoo black magic crap? Really? My message today is to the elite. My message today is to the corporate ones. My message today are the ones that run the countries. My messages today are the world leaders. My messages today are the one for the elites that are running the people's and the people's monies. My message is to all of those. My messages are to those that know of me. You absolutely know of me because you have handleship on my money. I've asked several times of those people through electronic, and I've asked several of them through my videos. I've asked, the most thing that means the most to me is that you, of the 300 that have been fucking me over since the day I was born, keeping truth from me because it's easier for you to not have an ounce of peace to me, my asking is of you, for you to get me what I'm owed. My proper birth records and my ancestors' money. That's what I want. That I've been asking for that. That's all that I wanted. That's my legal right. That's my human right. That's my universal right. And my ancestors are going to come to each one of you, all the 300 that have been involved in screwing me backwards and forwards and upside and down. So now that you've done that, now that you've ripped out my soul, and now that you've made me cry every day since the day that I was born and ask God every day, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? I go out and give my best every day, and every day, I'm given absolutely nothing. Why am I here? I want the 300 that have been involved in ripping my life apart and lying about me on every level. I don't want apologies. They don't mean anything to me. Your apologies mean nothing to me. Maybe 3 years ago, when the time level was up, when the gates were crossed, and maybe 3 years ago. Apologies don't mean anything right now. What I want the monies that are owed. I want my ancestors' money so that I can get into a safe space and I can start creating for anybody that wants to learn about what I have to teach. And I'm going to have healing events, and I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to keep moving in the direction that I'm going to keep moving in. And I'm going to try and have whatever bit of time I have left on this planet, unless God wants me to move me. But for my ancestors, I want my ancestors' money, and I want what my ancestors are due because we've earned it, because we've transformed and we've actually surpassed everything in the galaxy that we were asked to surpass. And we didn't do it by hurting people. We didn't do it by doing black magic on people. We did it by standing in who we are. And my ancestors deserve it. We've earned it. And if you feel jealous, and if you feel guilty, and if you feel envious, and if you feel hate because you don't know who you are, those are your problems, not ours. Your envy is your issue. Your envy is your no sense of self. Your jealousy is your no sense of self. Because you're wounded. So you got to heal that wound. Your jealousy isn't going to go anywhere. Your jealousy is still going to be your jealousy. Because nobody's competing with you. Why would I compete with people that don't know what they're doing? It's like me going into a kindergarten playground and kicking people around. No, they're kindergartners. They don't know what they're doing. So I'm here to teach you. I taught you. I showed you. Now I'm going to go. I want my money so that I can go have a place of my own and I can be on my own. Because you all pretended to be my friend, you all pretended to be my family, you all pretended to be interested in me, you all pretended. But as long as you got what you wanted, you all got to screw around and mess around and have as much sex as you wanted to, and still wear your masks and still have absolutely no truth in you. Okay, so go run your life. Have your Epstein Earth. Have it. I don't care. I really don't care, people. Create your Epstein Earth. I don't care. I'm going to be moved to a place, and I'm going to move to a dimension where I'm going to be helped, and I'm going to be honored, and I'm going to be given back, and I'm going to be loved, and I'm going to be cradled, and I'm going to be protected, and I'm not going to be treated like diseased piece of meat that you all bid on and bet on and see who's going to get the next suffering video. It's sick. The things that have been done are beyond sick. It makes me want to throw up. I can't believe people have done that to me in Jesus' name. And literally, I was the one sending emails saying, have a good day, make sure you get home safely if you're out partying, and I was the one, and these people are laughing behind doing magic and doing death magic on me. Total idiot. That's how nice I am. That's how kind I am. So 3,500 rituals. Go break it down. 3,500 rituals, however old you are. And let's see you come out of even a tenth of what I come out of. You can't. You won't. You never will. Nobody would have survived what I did. So I'm asking the 300. All of you know exactly what went on. The highest of the governments, you're never going to get out of this. You're going to be kept until the day that you die or that I move on. The shadow government, each and every one of you will be held liable. Every single one of you. You will not go anywhere. You will not advance until I get my birth records, until I get exactly what I've asked for, until I get the monies of my ancestors. I don't care if you have to pull it out of all your billion-dollar business. I don't give a fuck. My ancestors are going to get it. Because it's illegal what you've done, it's criminal what you've done, and there's no way that it should have lasted, in no way it should have taken this long, because I guarantee you, take any one of your businesses, any one of your receivables, any one of your accountables. If you had asked for something that you need for your project to move forward, do you think that your people would have sat there in your CEO office and said, well, I've been waiting for this part for about 80 years. I've been waiting for this part. I can't build what I need to build without this one part. Without this one part right there, I've been waiting 80 years for this one part. This is Celeste, and this is her family's lineages, and she needs that to go so that she can get going, and the universe can do what the universe needs, and the universe can keep spiraling around, because that's what Celeste needs to make sure that she's in the Father's plan. There's just one piece that's taken 80 years. Because my ancestors are here long before me. This is the last lifetime that we got to do this. The last lifetime where everybody's got to close up their stuff and everybody's got to put their business on the table, and this is where it's all got cleaned up. This is it. There's no more cleanup period. There's no more 3D timelines to work out that do unto other thing. This is it. So you're all business people. You're all making millions and billions. You're all leaders of countries. So if you're saying, if I've got to wait 80 years for this one piece, and everybody's had the access, everybody's access to the information, you have access to your secret files, you've tampered with the evidence, you've destroyed the evidence, you've got the money and you've got your hands on the money. You've all have access to it all. Put the shoe on the other foot. Would you have waited 80 years for me to get you what you need? If we were to wait 80 years for me to tell you about your Ascension information, where would you be? You would have all been died 10 times over on Epstein Earth. Because you would have not got the information from me, because I'm out messing around. I'm out having sex with everybody. I'm out making sure that my masks are okay. I'm out, going for my Gucci bag. I'm out shopping. I'm doing my superficial things. But no, I'm here every day. I sleep in a parking lot, and I come and I give you the highest and the best. I don't lie. I don't play games. And I've asked those people online, and I've asked those people that are the shadow government, and I've asked them, and I've shown them proof of the people hacking my accounts, of how laws are being broken every day. Laws are being broken every day on my accounts. Laws are being broken every day in my human rights. Everything is being broken. It doesn't matter how people treat me. And I've actually talked to you online, and I've actually said, what I need is I need the money back so that I can live a normal life. And all of you go about your normal lives, and all of you go about your sleeping in your $1 million homes. And I'm sleeping in the parking lot. You know I am. So if you truly cared, you'd get me out of the parking lot. But you don't. You're still living your life. You're still doing your thing. And none of you have once said, I'm going to get you to a hotel. Look, where's the closest hotel? You'll let me pay for it. None of you have. Except my 2 clients. So talk all your talk and walk all your walk and have your big agendas and do whatever you think you're going to do. Your actions have shown everything. You don't care. I've told you exactly what I need, and I haven't had an ounce of any of it. I haven't had a dollar, a dime, or a penny. And this is where my ex and everything that my ex says and everything that my ex talks to. Nothing but lies, lies. Pathological lies. And everybody's believed him. You all believed him. The Calgary police do nothing. Calgary police have done absolutely nothing. Nothing but a corrupt city. The whole city is corrupt. Everybody's got their hands and everybody's getting paid. And I've said, I want my money back so I can live a normal life and I can get my hell on. I'm gonna get my horse and I'm going on. See ya. But you can't do that because you've made promises with my ancestors' money. It's gone into your businesses. So now what? Now you all want to make bids and bets because you now know that I'm powerful. You all now know that I walk with God. You all now know that I have a voice. And now you all know that you want to use me and abuse me. You want to weaponize me somehow, some way. You want to pretend to be my friends. So all of you had your secret meetings. You've had your special little meetings. I see it. I see your meetings where you're all meeting with the 300 that are the top elites, the 300 that are involved, the small little pocket that are elites. You're in your special little meetings. Say, how can we get her? How can we corral her? How can we handle her so that we can continue doing what we are doing and she can go and be happy? We're going to pretend she's going to be happy for a little while, and then we'll go and swipe out from underneath, and we'll do some satanic ritual work on her, and then we'll make sure we're studying her, we're doing experiments on her, we'll maybe slip her some poison. The meetings have been had. Any word on that, Spirit? Is there anything you want me to say? Anything further on that? I want to do a guided meditation before we close up today. With what I've said is fair and accurate. It's not rocket science, people. If you want to make things right, I've given you exactly what I've needed. I want the money back from my ancestors. I want the money that's mine. I want it transferred to my accounts. You all know what my accounts are because the governments have access to everything. If there's Nigerians tapping into all my electronics, you all know what you're doing. It's not rocket science. You all know what you're doing. So good luck. Those of you that want to stay with Ascension, there's lots of other light workers that teach Ascension, lots of great channelers. You want my Ascension classes or my Ascension teachings, you can use my PayPal. It's on all of my videos. I'm very grateful for my 2 clients, and they will be blessed and they will be lifted. And they will have access to everything that I do and everything that I move forward. My clients will always be with me, and you'll be protected by Lord Michael. And you'll move with me, and I will have you at my table. I will be so very blessed for those 2 clients to be at my table. I want everybody to put this in their just put this in their visualization. Let's just say something really wonderful happened to me, and I ended up meeting this guy who didn't want to do black magic and kill me. And I met this great guy that loved me, truly loved me. I don't know what that's like because I haven't been there yet. And let's just say this guy wanted to marry me, and we wanted to have that thing. And I said, well, I've had a couple of marriages, but it's all been just nothing but lies and setups, and it was just a big joke. There was lots of jokes going on behind the screens, and I thought it was real. And little old naive me and my little unicorn spirit just pretended that I didn't know what was going on. And meanwhile, I was impaled with magic every day, and I just kept transmuting it, la-di-da-di-da, while they all kept doing root work on me and voodoo on me because, the witches and the warlocks were so very mean and evil. And they just wanted to suck me dry and tell me how I'm going to be sacrificed so that they can live a bit longer in their diseased, incestuous bodies where they were touching on children and having sex with their family members. It was so lovely to be involved in all of these wonderful things while they were all drunks and pretending that they were this and that, and they would, say that they were this and that in front of the churches, and they would wear their masks in front of the churches, in front of the publics, and they would wear all the righteous masks, they would say all the right things, and then behind closed doors, they're just evil, 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 evil. And they would set up these people to come and see you, and they would bring in the Nigerians from their countries, and they would give them illegal alien status, and they would do all these things and just pay these criminals to be more criminals. It's such a wonderful place to live. So wonderful. And then somehow one day I found this wonderful person that wanted to be a husband. We got along and we talked really great. And, I was very open and honest. Everything I said was truthful. And we got a marriage. And on the day of our wedding, when it's supposed to be, a thing where your friends and your family show up to celebrate you and to finally she's found love and finally somebody gets to love her the way that she deserves. She's given so much to so many people. And she's, let's just have something good happen for her. And a few good wishes from a few good people. Because they've seen in her books and all of the things that she's put forward since the day that she was born, how many people she's healed. Because God has shown them in their dreams. And God has shown them a few good things. This is what one divine feminine can do. Doesn't matter if anybody believes you, but there's one good divine feminine. This is what she can do. And on the day of her wedding, and she goes to open the doors. And you know how in the churches they have on the man's side, the divine masculine side, and the divine feminine side. And on the divine feminine side, there's nobody there. And the divine masculine, there's lots of men there, lots of masons and lots of witches and warlocks, lots of important people with their badges and their uniforms on. There's nobody is on the side of the divine feminine because they're all dead. But she has all the spirits of the children. She has the fairies and she has the gnomes. There's no friends because you poison them. Her children don't even show up because you've lied to them and you've done magic on them and mind scraping on them and MK Ultra on them. And they weren't strong enough. They weren't as strong as I was. Because I wasn't given the money to go there and to help them, and I wasn't given the money to have the travel money to go back and forth and to help them and keep them safe. Because you all strangle-held my money. Because that's what you wanted. You wanted me dead and on the streets. So that you can keep running corrupt businesses and corrupt hearts and corrupt souls and keep killing people. You got what you wanted, divine masculines. Let's ground our feet into the spiritual grids of the New Earth Star. That's where my soul is. I call in the divine holy creator to bathe light over those that so desire to move forward in the highest light, for those that desire to move forward in knowing you and having a relationship with the holy creator. I ask for the hand of God, I ask for the heart of God, I ask for the sounds of God, the mantras of God, and all that is the universal light and universal magic of all that is. And may the sounds of the harmonics of God's voice and God's love, the harmonics of us advancing and ascending into new energies and new territories. I send the light and the love to all of the children that need and know of good role models. When they look into the eyes of an angel, they will know it. And they will know that the hearts and the souls and the spirits of those that will protect them. And may they be protected by the Archangel Michael so that they never be lured into trafficking. The trafficking rings will be gone by June 30th. The black web will be gone by June 30th. Nuclear weapons programs will be gone by June 30th. Chemtrails will be gone by June 30th. Every shadow government will be gone by June 30th. And everybody's on suspension and everybody has their walking papers. If you do not make it right, this is where it will go and this is where it will be, because Earth will move on. Earth will ascend. She will not choose to be. The consciousness of Gaia does not choose to be Epstein Earth. You will have a different consciousness that you have all created, and that will be the consciousness that will be on that Earth. That's what you've chosen. And the Gaia consciousness will go forward to New Earth Star. And that is the grids we speak of, the Divine Holy Mother and the Holy Father. Spirit is spirit. It's either behaved in a negative way, which is your wounding and your behaviors and your patterns and your belief systems. You got to look at your belief systems if you want to change your energy and your core vibration. If you don't want to change your belief systems, we're back at square one. I'm not going to keep talking about square one. I'm so sick of talking about square one. You need another light worker spirit. You need other teachers to teach square one. I cannot teach square one anymore. I'm done. The camel's back is broke. The thread is drawn. Got to cut the cord. I cannot talk about square one anymore. I cannot survive in square one. I'm giving the creation, I'm giving the heavens, I'm giving earth, I'm giving everybody my suspension papers, I'm giving everybody my notice. My 2 weeks notice is on the table. I cannot do square one anymore. I cannot do it. I've got my ancestors, everything that they've wanted. I've gotten the heavens, everything that they've wanted. Everybody has got what they wanted out of me. You all got what you wanted. All of you. Nobody's asked what I've wanted. It's my body, it's my life, it's my soul, it's my spirit. Nobody owns it, nobody speaks for it. I'm reclaiming it as of this moment. I'm a sovereign free being. And I will be service to the sweetest energies of life, because that's who I was, that's who I will always be, and nobody will break me. I cannot and I will not teach square one ever again. Have other people do it. I'm out. I've done my best, I've given my best. My ancestors got what they wanted. Earth has got what she's wanted. The collective has been given infinite number of choices that no other planet would have been given as many choices as this planet has been given. The heavens have got what they wanted. The federations have got what they wanted. Everybody and the darkest people have been pulled. You all know the programs. You all know the shadow governments. You know their agendas. I've given everybody. You wanted to know the most corrupt. These are them, the shadow government. I've given you how they work. I've given you who they call in. I've given you the proof. I've given you the evidence. I've called it all up. I've given you everything. It was my light. It was my energy. And the aligned readers were my helpers. I've done my best. There's my 2-week notice. And all of you can have a big party when I leave. And there'll be nobody else to cause you any problem. You be as corrupt as you want. Call in the divine light, Holy Spirit. There's no way anybody on the other side of this experience that would have ever waited 80 years or 50 years to have their inheritance returned. There's no way you would have waited 50 years for your part to build your machine. There's no way you would have waited 50 years. There's no way you would have waited 50 years and lied to your family however many times you needed to lie to them for you to get what you wanted. No, you all told as many lies as you wanted to, while everybody believed the lies about me. And nobody bothered coming to talk to me. I haven't talked to anyone. I've given no permissions. I've signed nothing. Nobody's come to me for due diligence. Nobody's come to me to check on anything. Nobody's checked on my bank accounts. You're all hacking them. You hack my email. You hack my voicemail. You hack my phone. You hack my bank accounts. You hack everything. You got pocket watchers on everything. You got stalkers in every parking lot I go into. This hasn't been a life. It's been nothing but jail, low vibrational, sadistic, masochistic Hunger Games. This is not a life. Everybody's got my 2-week notice. There hasn't been one person on this planet that I'd want to work with. No, there's been no man on this planet that I've seen and I've met that is ever worthy of standing next to me, because all of you had plans to kill me. All of you did. Even the ones that pretended to be nice. You all had your agendas on how to do what to me to make sure that your plans and agendas were going to far outweigh a marriage and a partnership of a divine soul that God dropped a star in your lap. And you were never going to have somebody that's more heavenly aligned. And that's what you do to that heavenly aligned being. And I was very blatant with all of you. I want my money so that I can get on with my life. I have my legal rights. I have my universal rights. I want my birth records. This is what I'm legally owed. This is legal. Legal people. I've told everybody how I want and what I want. I haven't received anything, not one drop. I can't continue giving. I won't. You all got what you wanted. And so for today, dear lighted ones, I'd like to say a prayer and a wish to the holy heavens. And I want to say the prayer to all of the celestial beings. And I want to say a prayer to the beautiful, oh my gosh, the beautiful fairies and the beautiful cetaceans and the beautiful elementals that have absolutely loved me and saved me. The elementals have saved me. Gaia has saved me. Gaia has brought me back to life, my celestials, and all of the beautiful beings in spirit. And if one day there was to ever be a planet that I ever got married and I ever had a promise to, I would be absolutely so happy if everything on my side would be empty and there would not be a pew that would be filled, because I know in spirit there'd be lots of the spirit there. And I'd be okay with my half of the church being empty. I don't think I'd ever get married in another church ever again. They don't hold the vibration of what I bring. I'm going to need a few days to heal, because I've got to still digest all the truths that were going on behind the scenes and all the horrible things that people have done. I pray for all of you. All of you are forgiven. You have no weight with me, none of you. You're all forgiven. All that you've said about me is absolute lies. I've been celibate for 15 years. I've signed nothing. The only people that have cared about me are my 2 clients. And the few people that I meet here that I have dealings with here, the beautiful clients that are elderly, and the beautiful children that come and meet me and draw artwork for me, and the animals and the spirits. No others are my friends. No others are my family. And you all know it. Look to see how many emails you have from me and how many you've given me, how many phone calls you've given me. I don't have a phone that works. Holy Source Creator, I have enjoyed serving you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Galactic Federations, I have enjoyed serving you, Holy Spirit. I'll probably take a couple of days off of doing the videos just so I can do some healing. Contacting information is still the same. All paperwork and all hard copies go to my bank because I don't have a house. Donations go to paypal.me/Joanna L. Ross. However Source and I and however my spirit guides decide to transfer me, that's where I will be. I pray for the children. I'll always pray for the children. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And I hope that all of you that do black magic and do what you do and you think it's fine and you think it's really great. There's so many of you that were involved that that destroyed my life, and I'm really lucky that I made it through. I'm really lucky that I survived because I can always start over again and God's going to give me eternal life. So I'm very grateful that I've learned through it all. Thank you for the soul contracts. And my children are forgiving of me for the time that I was not with them. And I know I've brought so much great information to planet Earth, and my writings and my energy will live on. And I pray for all the ones that are being sacrificed that don't know what's going on, and they're being done root work and binding root work, and their lives are being messed up because there's people doing magic on them. And these are to do with the corrupt beings and the corrupt cults and covens that are making money off of killing people. I pray for the children. I pray for everybody. Good luck with everything. You all got what you wanted, right? Good for you. So all of my classes and all of my videos, every one of my videos, all of my 900 videos are dedicated to my 2 clients. I love you so much. I love you. My ex will forever stay away from me. Don't ever think about coming towards me. It was the biggest mistake that I married you. And you're all forgiven for all the horrible things you've done to me and the horrible lies you've told about me. Stay away from me. Don't even think about coming towards me. I will call the police. Everybody from the past, you're all forgiven. It's been a great ride. Thank you so much. If you owe me money, you all know the same information. It's not changed. My bank information and then PayPal. Other than that, that's really great. Thank you so much to all the people that tune in that are truly wanting to evolve. That is the name of the game. We're here to evolve, right? And I know I'm always going to create. I'm going to take a few days off and I'm going to heal. And everything that I've done, I've dedicated to my 2 closest people that I've ever known. And I wish everybody love and light. And namaste to everybody. My email and my PayPal is there. I wish everybody a namaste and love and light and grace. And do your path work and do your breath work. It's all that counts. It's all that matters. Bye.